There is a moment in every person's life when the mirror becomes more than glass. It becomes judgment. It becomes the battlefield where you decide who you are and who you will never be again. Some glance at that reflection and see weakness, doubt, fear, limitation. But the few, the very few, look into that same reflection and see potential, strength, power, waiting to be claimed. And it is in that moment, in the silence before the day begins, that destiny is decided. Confidence is not gifted. Fortune is not luck. Power is not an inheritance. They are built stone by stone, decision by decision, thought by thought. And the foundation of both confidence and fortune begins with one thing: the mind you command. Think of Abraham Lincoln, born in a log cabin, poor, uneducated, beaten down by failure after failure. By every measure, he should have lived and died in obscurity. But Lincoln did not surrender to the mirror of poverty. He looked at himself and decided, "I will rise." That decision, repeated in the face of defeat, carried him to the highest office in the land and etched his name into eternity. He was not confident because the world gave him permission. He was confident because he built his mind to believe it was possible, even when no one else believed. This is where most people misunderstand confidence. They wait for evidence, for applause, for proof before they act. They say, "When I succeed, I will feel confident." But the truth is the opposite. You must first act with confidence to create success. You must plant belief before the harvest of fortune arrives. Confidence is not the result of achievement. It is the cause of it. Look at Thomas Edison, a man who failed thousands of times before giving light to the world. Did he wait for confidence to come to him? Number. He created it. He stood in laboratories full of smoke and broken experiments, yet he carried the inner conviction that success was inevitable. And because of that inner certainty, he attracted the results the world said were impossible. This is the law. Fortune follows the confident. Opportunities bend to the one who believes. Wealth gravitates to the mind that refuses to doubt itself. When you carry unshakable confidence, the world feels it. You radiate it. And people, resources, and circumstances align to match your vibration. But confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is not noise. Confidence is quiet fire. It is the calm in the storm. It is the voice inside you that says, "I will find a way," when the path is covered in darkness. Arrogance collapses under pressure, but true confidence grows stronger in the fire. So how do you build it? You begin where every empire begins, in the mind. Your beliefs are the architects of your reality. What you believe about yourself, about your potential, about your worth, becomes the ceiling of your life. If you believe you are small, you will live small. If you believe you are weak, you will surrender at the first sign of challenge. But if you believe you are capable, unstoppable, destined for greatness, then every step you take will reinforce that truth. Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate who rose from poverty to become one of the wealthiest men in history, once said that a man's greatest asset is not his money, but his belief in himself. He saw himself as a builder of empires long before the first beam of steel was laid. That vision became his compass, and his confidence became the engine that pulled him forward. Belief is not born by chance, it is cultivated. You feed it daily. You choose it relentlessly. Every morning when you rise, you must declare to yourself, "I am capable. I am strong. I am ready." These are not empty affirmations, they are seeds. Plant them enough times, water them with discipline, and they grow into unshakable certainty. But belief without clarity is wasted power. The mind, like light, must be focused to burn. Fortune does not come to those who wander, it comes to those who see. What is it you seek? Wealth, freedom, impact, influence? You must define it, sharpen it, see it so vividly that it becomes more real to you than your present circumstances. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. A newspaper editor fired him, saying he had no creative talent. But Disney had clarity. He saw what no one else could see, a world of magic, of characters, of stories that would shape childhoods for generations. That clarity gave him confidence, and that confidence attracted investors, supporters, and a legacy beyond measure. Your clarity becomes your weapon. Without it, your energy scatters. You will chase trends, follow distractions, and end up exhausted with nothing to show. But with clarity, every action, every choice, every sacrifice points in one direction. That direction builds momentum, and momentum creates fortune. Yet even clarity is powerless without purpose. Purpose is the reason behind the vision, the fuel that keeps confidence burning when storms come. Purpose is what transforms ambition into destiny. Without it, even wealth will feel empty. Even power will collapse. But with purpose, no failure can break you. No loss can silence you. No defeat can define you. Henry Ford's purpose was not simply to build cars. It was to give freedom of movement to ordinary people. That purpose kept him alive when his first companies failed, when the banks doubted him, when the world laughed at the idea of an automobile for the masses. His fortune was not built on steel alone, it was built on purpose. And purpose gave him confidence that no obstacle could shake. So I ask you, what is your purpose? What drives you so deeply that you would rise early, work late, sacrifice comfort, and face ridicule to see it through? What vision burns so fiercely in you that failure is only fuel, rejection is only redirection, and setbacks are only stepping stones? That purpose is your foundation. Without it, confidence is fragile. With it, confidence becomes unshakable. Discipline is the bridge between purpose and fortune. Without discipline, dreams remain illusions. Confidence collapses into fantasy. Fortune fades into nothing. Discipline is the daily decision to do what others will not. It is waking when you want to sleep, working when you want to quit, moving forward when the world pushes back. Edison's 10,000 phasers were not accidents, they were discipline. Lincoln's years of defeat before the presidency were not wasted, they were discipline. Carnegie's relentless climb from factory worker to industry giant was not luck, it was discipline. The world remembers their fortunes but forgets the daily grind, the repetition, the sweat. But without that, nothing would remain. And your discipline will decide your destiny. Not your talent, not your luck, not your circumstances, your discipline. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you reprogram your mind to believe, I am worthy of fortune. And the universe responds. Yet action is the final proof. Confidence without action is illusion. Belief without action is fantasy. Purpose without action is a dream waiting to die. Action is the only language the universe respects. It is the proof of belief, the evidence of faith, the bridge between thought and fortune. The Wright brothers did not wait for permission to test their flying machine. They acted. Walt Disney did not wait for certainty before building his studio. He acted. Henry Ford did not wait for universal approval before creating his assembly line. He acted. Their confidence was not passive, it was active. And because they acted, fortune found them. So must you. If you believe, act. If you have vision, act. If you have purpose, act. For action is the heartbeat of confidence and the currency of fortune. Gratitude is the power most people overlook, the hidden force that strengthens confidence and multiplies fortune. When you live in constant lack, always seeing what is missing, your mind breeds fear. Fear whispers, there isn't enough. You are not enough. The world will never give you more. And so you move timidly, you hesitate, you shrink. But gratitude flips the script. Gratitude says, I already live in abundance. I already stand on blessings. I already carry power within me. Gratitude is not passive thankfulness. It is active recognition of wealth already present. The breath in your lungs is wealth. The strength in your body is wealth. The ability to think, to imagine, to choose, to act, that is wealth beyond measure. When you acknowledge it daily, your confidence grows because you are no longer begging life for scraps. You are operating from overflow. Carnegie, when he had nothing, carried gratitude for the opportunity to learn in a telegraph office. Edison gave thanks for every failed experiment, calling each failure one more step closer to success. Lincoln gave thanks for the very struggle that hardened his resolve. Gratitude did not make them weak. It made them unshakable because they trained their minds to seek gain in every circumstance. Fortune favors the grateful because gratitude keeps your mind open to possibilities. A resentful mind sees only walls. A grateful mind sees doors. And those doors lead to the opportunities others miss. But life will test that gratitude. It will push you into storms. It will tear at your plans. It will shake the ground beneath you. And in those moments, adaptability becomes the difference between ruin and rise. The confident do not cling to rigid paths. They bend, they pivot, they adjust without breaking. Think of Charles Darwin's truth. It is not the strongest who survive, but the most adaptable. Edison adapted after thousands of failed attempts. Ford adapted when critics said his assembly line would collapse. Disney adapted when bankruptcy threatened to bury him. Every fortune is built on the willingness to bend without surrender. Confidence is not pretending the storm doesn't exist. It is knowing you can sail through it. Adaptability is the sail itself. It allows you to change direction without losing destination. When the world shifts, the adaptable shift with it. And in that flexibility, confidence grows even deeper, because you know, no matter the obstacle, you will find another way. Resilience is the twin brother of adaptability. If adaptability is the sail, resilience is the anchor. It keeps you grounded when the winds roar, when failure knocks, when rejection stings. Resilience is the decision to rise again and again, no matter how many times the world tries to bury you. Abraham Lincoln lost more elections than most men would dare attempt, yet his resilience refused to let him quit. Thomas Edison was laughed out of classrooms as unteachable, yet his resilience turned failure into light. Henry Ford went bankrupt twice before revolutionizing industry. Resilience carried him through. Confidence without resilience is fragile. One setback shatters it. But when you train your mind to see every defeat as education, every fall as preparation, every rejection as redirection, then nothing can truly break you. You may bend, you may stumble, you may bleed, but you will not stop. That is unshakable confidence. That is the soil in which fortune grows. But resilience without learning is wasted. Too many repeat the same failures, clinging to pride, refusing to evolve. True confidence is not stubbornness. It is humility coupled with growth. The greatest leaders, the wealthiest builders, the most powerful minds are not those who claim to know it all, but those who learn endlessly. Andrew Carnegie studied the masters of industry, absorbing knowledge like oxygen. Edison devoured scientific ideas from every corner of the world. Walt Disney studied the psychology of children, the artistry of animation, the mechanics of sound. They were relentless students, forever learning, forever growing. You must become the same, a student of life, a student of success, a student of failure. Learning sharpens confidence because it strips away ignorance. Learning multiplies fortune because it opens doors no closed mind will ever see. And learning requires humility, to admit you don't know, to listen when pride wants you to speak, to adapt when ego wants you to resist. This humility is not weakness, it is strength, because it allows you to grow where others remain stuck. Gratitude gives you foundation. Adaptability gives you flexibility. Resilience gives you endurance. Learning gives you expansion. Together they forge a mind that cannot be shaken, a spirit that cannot be broken, a life that cannot be denied. But do not mistake this path as easy. To build unshakable confidence and fortune, you must be willing to endure loneliness. You must walk roads others will not walk. You must silence the noise of doubters and critics. Look again at the lives of giants. Edison was ridiculed. Lincoln was despised. Ford was doubted. Disney was mocked. They all faced ridicule, betrayal, rejection, yet they did not crumble. Why? Because they were not seeking validation from the crowd. Their confidence was built within. Their fortune was rooted in purpose. Their belief was stronger than public opinion. You cannot build unshakable confidence if you are addicted to approval. You cannot attract fortune if you live for applause. Approval is fleeting. Applause is temporary. Confidence must be forged in solitude, in discipline, in self-belief so strong that no voice outside of you can silence it. Yes, people will laugh. Yes, people will doubt. Yes, people will whisper. But remember this. The world mocked the Wright brothers until they touched the sky. The world doubted Ford until he revolutionized transportation. The world dismissed Disney until his imagination reshaped childhood. The same world that ridicules you today will one day celebrate you if you dare to stand firm in your confidence and act on your vision. Do not waste your life waiting for permission. Confidence is your permission. Purpose is your license. Discipline is your signature. Action is your proof. Gratitude, adaptability, resilience, and learning will carry you forward. And fortune, yes, fortune will follow. But fortune must not be misunderstood. It is not only money, though money will come. It is not only power, though power will grow. True fortune is freedom. The freedom to live on your own terms, to fulfill your purpose, to shape your destiny. True fortune is mastery. The mastery of yourself, your mind, your discipline. And true fortune is legacy. The mark you leave, the lives you impact, the world you reshape. Confidence and fortune are not the end of the road. They are the tools with which you build roads for others. Edison lit the world. Lincoln preserved a nation. Carnegie funded libraries and universities. Disney brought joy to millions. Their fortune extended beyond themselves because unshakable confidence does not stop at personal gain. It multiplies into collective impact. And that is your calling, not only to build wealth, not only to build confidence, but to build a life that elevates others, inspires others, strengthens others. That is how confidence becomes unshakable. That is how fortune becomes eternal. Now listen carefully, because this is where the truth hits the soul. All the steps, all the principles, all the philosophy, the entire journey begins and ends with you. You are the architect, the engineer, the commander of your destiny. No one else holds the key. No one else can ignite the fire. No one else can enforce the discipline. No one else can summon the courage to rise each day and claim what is yours. You have been standing in your own way, waiting, hesitating, wondering, doubting, perhaps telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or I'm not ready yet. But the universe has no memory for excuses. Time does not bend for hesitation. The moment is now. The fire of unshakable confidence and fortune is not born tomorrow. It is forged in this breath, this heartbeat, this instant. Rise then. Rise from the lethargy of indecision. Rise from the comfort of mediocrity. Rise from the fear of failure. Stand tall in your reflection and declare, I am capable, I am worthy, I am unstoppable, and mean it not as an empty mantra, but as a command to the universe and to your own soul. Confidence is not external. It is a declaration. It is a discipline. It is the commitment to act, to move, to build, to endure, to learn. It is waking before the world sleeps. It is working when the world rests. It is seeing opportunity when others see obstacles. Confidence is the unshakable alignment of thought, purpose, and action. Imagine a man who wakes each morning with a clear vision, who believes so fully in his purpose that failure is impossible. Imagine a mind trained in discipline so rigorous that laziness and doubt cannot enter. Imagine a spirit fortified by gratitude, resilience, and learning, bending like steel but never breaking. This is not fantasy. This is the mind you can build. This is the life you can live. This is the fortune you can claim. The world will test you. It will question your resolve. It will present storms more ferocious than you imagined. But these are not signs to surrender. They are invitations to rise. Every challenge is a teacher. Every setback is a lesson. Every critic is an unwitting mentor, showing you what to strengthen within. The reprogrammed mind sees obstacles as opportunities, opposition as guidance, adversity as fuel. Look to history again for proof. Edison's laboratory burned to the ground. Lincoln was defeated over and over. Carnegie's early business ventures failed. Disney faced bankruptcy and ridicule. Each moment, each trial, each supposed disaster was nothing but preparation. And so it will be for you if you see it that way. Do not waste pain. Do not waste struggle. Do not waste loss. These are the materials from which giants are made. The fire of adversity forges confidence. The friction of challenge polishes skill. The weight of responsibility strengthens resolve. You are being trained. You are being sharpened. You are being prepared. And now let me speak plainly. Fortune is attracted, not pursued. This is the law too many miss. You cannot chase wealth, for it will run. You cannot crave power, for it will flee. But when your mind is reprogrammed, when your confidence is unshakable, your purpose is clear, your discipline unbreakable, your gratitude sincere, your adaptability fluid, your resilience unwavering, and your learning constant, then fortune becomes inevitable. It moves toward you because you have become its natural home. The law of attraction is not mystical, it is logical. Energy flows to energy. Belief manifests, action amplifies, vision directs. The man who exudes certainty, purpose, and mastery is magnetized. Opportunities seek him, resources align, people gravitate. Fortune does not need to be begged. It is drawn to power, and power resides in a mind fully committed to its own elevation. So act with urgency, speak with conviction, work with intensity, visualize with clarity, persist with resilience, learn relentlessly, be grateful without fail, adapt without hesitation. Every step compounds, every choice accumulates. Every day you live fully aligned with these principles, you are building not just wealth or power, but an unshakable legacy. And let me remind you, legacy is the ultimate reward. Money fades, fame is fleeting, influence can be lost. But the life you build, the confidence you embody, the fortune you create, not just for yourself but for others, this echoes beyond your lifetime. Carnegie's libraries still educate. Disney's imagination still delights. Lincoln's courage still inspires. Edison's light still illuminates. They are remembered not only for what they achieved, but for the minds they built and the lives they touched. You are capable of that same enduring impact. Not in theory, not in some distant dream, but here, today, in the choices you make and the mind you command. Imagine the life of a person who moves through each day with unshakable confidence, whose thoughts are disciplined, whose actions are precise, whose purpose is undeniable. Imagine the fortune that flows, not only money, but influence, freedom, and legacy. Imagine the transformation that occurs when the ordinary becomes extraordinary because the mind refuses to accept limitation. This is your birthright. This is your destiny. The same principles that carried Lincoln, Carnegie, Edison, Ford, and Disney to greatness reside in you, waiting for activation, waiting for recognition, waiting for belief, waiting for you to command them. And once you do, nothing in the world can stop you. There is no greater power than the mind aligned with purpose. There is no greater wealth than confidence married to action. There is no greater fortune than a life built consciously, deliberately, unshakably. You were born to rise. You were born to claim. You were born to create. Now close your eyes if you must, but see it vividly. Feel it in your chest, in your blood, in every fiber of your being. See yourself standing taller than fear. See yourself acting when others hesitate. See yourself building when others crumble. See yourself mastering each day, mastering each thought, mastering yourself. And when you open your eyes, remember this: fortune is not outside, it is within. Confidence is not bestowed, it is constructed. Power is not given, it is claimed. Your destiny is yours, waiting for the courage to step forward. Step forward, claim it, live it, become it. For there will never be a perfect moment. There will never be a safer path. There will never be a guarantee that no storm will come. But you will rise. You will endure. You will conquer. You will create. Because you have reprogrammed your mind, and nothing can stand against a mind that is unshakable, focused, disciplined, and aligned with purpose. The world may doubt you, circumstance may challenge you, people may resist you, but none of that matters, because the world cannot resist a mind that refuses to doubt itself. Fortune cannot resist a soul that refuses to surrender. Life cannot resist a person who knows without question that they are destined for greatness. So go forth, build your confidence, build your fortune, build a life that cannot be denied, a life that inspires, a life that echoes beyond time. Reprogram your mind, align it with power, feed it with purpose, guard it with discipline, strengthen it with resilience, expand it with learning, anchor it in gratitude, adapt it to change, and let nothing, no fear, no doubt, no failure, stop you. The moment is now. The choice is yours. The power is within. Rise and claim it.